Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dad Life and Gaming, the podcast where it always gets a little bit weird but a lot of fun. I'm Crypt Nurse, or Jay, and with me I also have.
Hey, y'all,
Hey
good.
guys, it's Mikey.
And
Cutting in
John.
over everybody yet again.
Yeah, John here again. The one that always hosts us things. We're very thankful to have you guys here on April 19th, the Easter weekend. Was it good?
Unfortunately, Rob can't be with us today because he has the plague. But our thoughts and prayers go out to you, Rob.
While he's hugging the toilet.
Now, thought and prayer conversion rate has dipped, so we're sorry it's not worth as much anymore.
Oh man. But we got a lot of good topics that happened over the week. But as always, before we get into that, we are going to go do our hyper jump.
Traveling through hyperspace ain't like Duckling Crocs, boy.
All right, so hyper jump this week, just a couple items, nothing too serious. Again, if you have not been watching the anime rollout for spring 2019, please get on it. Yuno and a few others came out earlier today. So far, they are beastly. So let's get into it. Pokemon collectible card game. The Pro Tour is rotating as of August 15th. The set will be Ultra Prism and forward, so please update your decks by then. And yes, we all know that is well into the season. Pokemon Unbroken Bonds also comes out this weekend, so be sure to pick up your packs at your local friendly gaming store. And last thing, War of the Spark has gone full spoiler mode with almost all cards revealed. And it is not looking good for Gideon. So let's get a big F in the chat for him. And that is your Nerd Minute.
Like we said, we got a lot of topics today, ranging from uh, Star Wars yet again, all the way to GameStop and more developer issues between all sorts of things. But first, before we get into that, let's talk about what we've been playing lately. And I think everybody, I said it earlier this week, but I don't think we put on the docket that I committed yet another sin. I after playing I kept the Division 2 for like 4 days, and we are discussing it before we went live. Is that I don't know. I think it's because I didn't have a group playing, so I was running solo. I just felt kind of McBain and old. So
So
I just,
normal.
yeah, I mean, grind, and I mean, you can't find the attachments for your guns. You gotta make them now. So like a bigger magazine and all that stuff. I think I hit like level like 8 or something like that, or 10. So I was like, this is kind of dull. Been playing. I actually bought Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. What, Monday, Tuesday?
I think Tuesday you did. How's
I,
that been going for you, by the way? You get those characters unlocked?
Dude, that is some bull crap right there. Not only
the
did like,
one the one time you want to pay money for it and you can't.
yes, I was like, dude, is there a way I could spend like $20 and just unlock everybody? Um,
I, I still thought the amiibo would do it.
I don't think so. I think it gives you like a spirit or some kind of like RPG element in their spirit world thing. I played a little bit of that. That's kind of interesting. Um, Now there's like one time I was playing. What's that one guy that's not Ness but his brother or something? Lucas or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Lucas.
I was fighting him, and like
Uh-huh.
I hit the ground, and this little like monster thing came out of the ground. I was like, okay. And then Lucas just avoided me. I'm like, what's going on here? And next thing I know, the thing comes over at me and like hits me and one shots me. I instant die. So now he's at the end of the rotation to unlock him.
Oh
But the
man.
good thing is I actually sent this out to the group. Is I got it at a really good deal. I got the game and the Pikachu GameCube Edition controller for like what 45 was it?
Yeah,
I
they got
think
a
you
nice
said
little
that.
bundle at GameStop.
But did you see the price on that?
Yeah, that actually was a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah, GameStop has it for like 79 together, and I got it for like like a quarter of that. Yeah, I bought mine for 6204 from Best Buy with the Gamers Unlock Club, and GameStop has got it for 79.99. I'm like, whew. I saved about an extra $10 on it, and I was able. If you didn't know that Season 2 Rocket League mystery packs are out now too, so I got 2 of those for my son.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and for those who are into the Smash games, Joker was pretty much just shadow dropped the other day, so have fun with him.
Yeah, there was actually a tournament that somebody played him, and he's pretty okay. I was actually playing that night when it was dropped, and like it would be infinite loading on that patch, and then you had to reload it the morning of. But the sin I committed was I pre-ordered something.
Oh, God.
But hey, it's not
What?
bad, and I think it's actually justified. It's the Labo VR.
Okay, I can see that.
And it's not for me, it's for my son.
But still, pre-ordering cardboard, dude.
It's introductional VR for my son versus spending the $300 for PSVR.
I still can't believe nobody's come out with 3D printed plastic parts for that.
They probably have, but
They're just not official.
Well, yeah, that.
Well, I mean, but I haven't even really seen ads for it.
Well, that and Nintendo's kind of got a tight grip on it. So if you like posted something like you're selling it on a website, they probably will shut you down.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Division 2, I've been playing a little bit more League of Legends ARAM and Smash. That got me really kind of upset, which I didn't know that the Switch has a C charger.
Yes.
So,
And do not use anything that isn't made by Nintendo unless you don't like your Switch anymore.
why is that?
Because the Switch has an issue where Nintendo built in the regulator on the charger to the chargers, not in the Switch, so it will actually overcharge and fry itself on anything that isn't a Nintendo charger.
Okay.
I don't know if they fixed that problem since the last time I had one, but I'm like, screw it, I'm not bricking it, so I just don't use anything
Well,
but
is
theirs.
that just like the cable, or is that like the whole setup?
The third-party docks were bricking the Switches for a while. Third-party cables were. I did actually have a black web cable that seemed to be all right that I used because I kind of trust them a little bit more. Black web usually does their research about what needs to be in their cables, their devices, but for the most part, it was a whole huge issue when the Switch first came out that people were buying that secondhand dock, the one that didn't cover the front so it didn't scratch the piss out of the screen, and it was bricking.
Well, I got the whatever GameStop Wolf product they had. I got the cable of that and used it. I was like, this is a C charger. Let me just use what I've got at the house, and I haven't plugged up anything to it yet. And I took it back today. It was a $15 cord.
Right. I mean, like I said, they may have fixed it by now. I don't know. I just know the original run, it was a huge issue, and I haven't looked into it since. But that's one of the reasons the docks came down in price was Nintendo was like, they put out a press release, don't use a dock that isn't ours, and everybody's like, but your dock's $80, that's ridiculous. And then within 2 weeks, their dock had dropped down to $60 because using other docks fried the unit.
What has everybody else been doing this week as far as gaming or dad life?
Oh, Easter break, buddy.
Yeah, no. Good Friday, kids were out again. Because
Yep. He was home today.
I know that last Friday in my county, the schools were out because of the fair, the county fair.
Oh, nice.
So
Yeah, our state and county fair ain't till August, so.
Yeah, same here.
Ugh. But no, Monster Hunter, Apex. It's about it for me.
Well,
usually,
A lot of stuff going on in Monster Hunter right now, so it's pretty fun.
holy crap! I need to delete Division 2. It's 100 gigabytes.
as per a lot of gamers, I'm constantly trying to find games that, my partner wants to play with me, and she is more of a gamer than she was when she met. I found stuff she likes. She loves the Lego games, for example. And our newest thing's been the Rock Band and Guitar Hero games. So we've been playing a lot of that together. And then, of course, I've just been playing on my own with Legend of Zelda and a couple other, here or there demo type stuff. Nothing major.
Pick up, put down games.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's been a lot of. I've been at work a lot this week, so
Yeah,
I'm actually trying to impress my bosses and convince them that they should give me a full-time position and maybe even possibly a supervisor one if such should become available. So I've been focusing a lot on work and trying to get that moving in a direction that's stable and solid.
Yeah, 91.45 gigabytes of data for the Division 2.
Yikes.
The only thing that's bigger than that is Red Dead Redemption 2.
And this whole time I've
What?
been trying to find Cartman's exact quote for you about what you get for pre-orders from the Black Friday episode, but of course nobody can just put up South Park quotes in an easy-to-find manner, so I give up.
Right.
As I recall, it was something to the effect of all you get is a dick in your mouth and $5 in their pocket for pre-ordering a game.
Well, this is Labo, so I'm not really too worried about it. Like I said, it's one is going to get my kid to build stuff. And that's something that me and him can do together. And then it's VR, which he loves. And they announced that Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and it comes with 20 games or something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the announcement because I'm not a fan of systems I don't own.
You don't own a Switch?
Nope.
It's not that you're not a fan of the Switch. You'd love to own a Switch.
I would absolutely love it. I am so looking forward to the next Pokemon. No, I just looked. My biggest game is Conan Exiles at 78 gigabytes. Almost 79.
Wow. Playing with the Joy-Cons is a different experience because the buttons it's so different.
And see, this is where I feel like I have a leg up because I jump between systems all the time. So for me, it only takes me a minute to remap in my brain where my buttons are.
Yeah, not for this. Not if you see Smash, you're like, oh, okay, this one button's this. Nope.
Now, one thing I really like doing is everybody likes either to have the Joy-Cons on the system or put them into the Joy-Con holder, and I always like playing them just one in each hand.
Mm-hmm.
And completely free and separate. To me, that was actually a lot more comfortable than playing with any other controllers, and I really enjoyed it.
See, when I finally do get a Switch, I'm gonna be, as long as I have the movement on the left side, I'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is,
so I'm not too worried about that.
This was given to my son by his grandfather, and needless to say, he didn't get it fresh. and one of the
Gotcha.
joysticks is like, if you play Mario Kart and you just let the joystick just let loose,
It got the drift.
it'll hard turn right. Like it'll take a
Oh.
30-degree right. Fucking Incineroar. This guy's fucking extra right here, man. I bet his aerial capabilities are garbage.
Actually, I believe he just placed in the top 8 for April Annihilation,
Yeah.
which is a Big E tournament in the Midwest.
Well, you know, as long as we're kind of bridging the topic of Pokemon, for anybody that doesn't know, Burger King currently has Pokemon toys for Detective Pikachu. If you're weird and you collect Burger King toys or McDonald's toys, and you like
Okay,
Pokemon,
first up, it's
happens-
Pokemon. It doesn't matter who it's coming from.
I was gonna say, and it's Pokemon, so of course, like I sent you guys the picture. I got the Mewtwo, which actually looks pretty sweet.
No joke. Mr. Mime still gives me freaking night terrors from Detective Pikachu. Him and Ludicolo. I mean, no.
The Detective Pikachu plush is still the creepiest plush by far, though. With the realistic fur and the actual bead eyes instead of, you know, the stitched-on anime eyes, it just, I don't know, something about it is just freaking weird. I don't like it.
You know, looking at this docket, it actually brings me to a subject I want to bring up right away.
What was that?
What's that?
The Genesis Mini. Oh my god, they're doing better than PlayStation.
Well, that's you can.
That's
throw
not
a,
a hot.
You can throw a stick and a rock in the middle of a room and that'll be better.
I was gonna say, you're not exactly picking a high bar to hit here. I mean, that thing was a dumpster fire. GameStop can't even give it away.
They are knocking it out of the park. Have you seen the games list?
It's got like Sonic 2 and 3, I think it is.
Sonic 2 and 3, Shining Force, Earthworm Jim.
Yes, I saw that.
Oh, I'm actually considering it, and I own an actual Genesis.
Here's the thing you gotta understand, though, and with Sony, or with Sega, I mean, they were really one of the first ones to start this whole retro console kickback. The first ones I can remember seeing were Ataris and Sega. And Sega's had the retro console with the pack-ins. I have the one that plays the original cartridges if you can get them. And it's got 80 packed-in games to begin with. And they've always had a halfway decent lineup. And that was just, hey, you remember Sonic? Look, it's on this machine. And that was like no thought, no effort. That was just aimed at people that, hey, you remember having a Sega? So it's not surprising that if they're actually going to put some effort behind this and be like, hey, look at what we're doing, it's going to come out decent, because really they were the first ones out in the front doing that.
Yeah, and also
Yeah, I mean,
the company that's doing it is the well-known one, or the good one, I should say. But yeah,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I probably am gonna hunt one down.
You can pre-order it.
Go to bed. And that brings me to my next subject, the Capcom Fight Stick plug and play. Oh my god, what a garbage fire.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with that is if it could plug up to any system and use as a fight stick, it'd be okay, but it's a 2-player fight stick.
And $250, and the game selection ain't even that great.
Yeah.
$250 for a plug and play. No, thank you.
Actually, if you want a really great setup where you want to take a fight stick you actually like, 8-Bit Dough has a converter that'll allow you to use any system's controller on any system. So you can literally, if you get it's just a little USB that plugs in. You can use your Xbox controller on your Switch, etc. And honestly, I haven't heard anything bad about it. And everybody I've talked to that has one says it works on every system they stick it on.
Yep.
So if you're like, oh, I want to play PlayStation, but seriously, their controllers are only good if you're Captain Tiny Hands. And I prefer Xbox because they have the bigger controller. And yes, this is something I've been told by people. Well, then go get the 8-bit adapter, and you can use your Xbox controller on your PlayStation.
No, and they're an amazing company too to work with, because in the beginning, when the systems first came out, like the first couple of years, they would time out after 8 minutes. Well, they made firmware updates for free for people, and then straight up they just put out a different one, same cost.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything bad about any of their controller builds, honestly. And they were another one of those ones that just kind of, they were a little tiny startup that came out of nowhere, and they focused on making sure people got what they wanted and done a good job with
I don't know. Wi-Fi enable? What? That is what? Oh, okay. So you can post leaderboards. And it's got a USB and a HDMI. And what else? A power. Yeah, honestly, like, one, if it was a one-player stick that you can plug it up to any system and use it as a fighting stick, that would be pretty freaking awesome. Two, you got two people, it's a two-player stick that you have to, like, hold hands while playing this thing. And why would you get it for two-player? Like, that's the thing I think will hold it back, is that if you're going to buy it, why buy it so that two people can play it?
Exactly.
And the price is pretty expensive. You might as well just go get a fighting stick yourself and just get the ROMs.
Right.
Yeah, and if you need fight stick recommendations, hit me up.
Well, it's got the, was it Swally? I guess that's a good company. Mike?
Swally.
Yeah, the buttons that it's using. Do I literally have to go look it back up again?
No, kitty, it's my Popeye.
Trying to think here.
Why is it? I can't find it now. You gotta be kidding me! I just saw it. No, I don't want to subscribe to Kotaku. Thank you.
Are you sure?
No, I'm pretty damn sure. I already got their podcast on one of my things, and I only get to listen to like 5 minutes of it before I'm upset with it.
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's some kind of company that's well known for their fight sticks, like buttons.
The only ones I know that I ever dealt with is Focus Tech, Adark, and Mad Cats.
Okay, it starts with an S. So.
Okay. Do you know what I love about what SIG is doing so far? Just looking at their official website. Most of the Sega clones have those stupid RF controllers that suck if you move even an inch to the left or the right, and they're re-releasing the wired with this. So already that makes me super happy, because you've got the nice wired controller, so you're not worried about it, you know, running out of range or anything. And I'm sure, just like the NES Classics, someone will put out a wireless one that works decently.
Well, I just saw like Walmart, they have wireless PS3 controllers now, which was kind of hard to find the official ones because they're still super expensive for some reason.
You know, I actually wound up buying a PS TV once just to get the controller, because Walmart was trying to get rid of their stock of PlayStation TVs. and Walmart had a special bundle that came with a controller, and they had it marked down to $25 because no one was buying, and the DualShock 3s were still 40. So I'm like, screw it, yeah, I'll take an extra system that I may or may not ever use just to get the free controller.
Yeah, you don't use it, do you?
I sold it. I didn't use it for anything. Honestly, it was nice for the second screen feature, but after I moved and I can't do stairs anymore, my game room and my living room are the same room, so I have no need of the second, playing my video game elsewhere. And then I only own one Vita game, which is a Sword Art Online game, so it sat there and collected dust till I sold it.
Because you can't get any free ones now because PlayStation discontinued that.
Yep.
Yeah, well.
Speaking of which,
I think that was stupid. It was a really good device, and honestly, I loved my Vita when I had it. But again, it never got used because it had a great library in Japan, but almost nothing got translated and sent over here. And anything that did almost always had a better version on the PS4, so I always ended up going with that anyway. Like I said, at best, the Vita that I had, or the PlayStation TV that I had, just got used as a second screen device, and that was pretty much all I ever did with it. And it's sad because they could have done so much more if they'd have just stuck to it, but I don't know, it was like Nintendo released the Switch and they were just like, nope, forget it.
yeah. Which and speaking of which, I guess what people are calling the Switch Pro has been delayed.
Yeah, I heard that too. It wasn't even announced.
Yeah. Well, everybody was.
Not officially, anyway. Okay, so while you guys are looking that stuff up, one of the ones that I came across was GameStop is rolling out the guaranteed to love it policy.
Woo!
Which is actually kind of a good one on them and kind of gives me hope that they're going to pull their heads out of their collective asses and really make this try to turn around.
Well, have you looked at the details of it?
A little bit.
48 hours for a full refund.
Yes. Which, honestly, I mean...
select games.
For right now, it is select games, but as I understand it, if this takes off and people are using it, it's supposed to go across the board. Right now, it's basically being betaed, is how they're kind of talking about it. And they're seeing if people will actually use it. Now, to be fair, 48 hours, in the first 48 hours, as long as I sit down and actually throw the thing in my machine, I can tell you if I'm going to like a game or not. So on the one hand, that is awesome because up till now, turning in a brand new game that you bought sucked. And that was one of the ways that they pushed their used games in their circle of life was you have a week to return a used game, but once you open a brand new game, well, too bad you opened it. So that made a lot of people lean more towards the used game because at least then if it sucks, you can bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So this is kind of a nice step. It's a small step. But hey, baby steps are still steps towards them actually, maybe thinking that their customers might be human beings. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, right now, the only game that's on it right now is Days Gone, which they released a video today of like some more like kind of developmental, hey, I hope you like it, this is what it's all about kind of thing, which I'll probably get day one.
I don't know. It didn't interest me.
One of the things that I really miss, and when we started doing this, I went to try to find them, is all of our trades are dead.
Trades.
What do you mean?
sorry, nursing term, when you want the journals or the trades, gaming magazines. There aren't any anymore. There's none in print. The closest you can get is Game Informer, and quite frankly, that's GameStop trying to get me to buy shit, so I take it with a huge grain of salt. But I mean,
Yeah.
when we were kids, especially in the 90s, you had Nintendo Power. Pretty much for every console out there, you had a magazine.
Well, everything's digital now.
It is, but I kind of miss actually having that show up to the doorstep, and I was like, I think I'll resubscribe, and I'm like, out of print, out of print, out of print, out of business. Holy crap!
Yeah, then when you go to what's it called? Books A Million, they try to get you to subscribe to magazines too.
Yeah.
Then you look at them and be like, nobody reads these anymore, right?
The one magazine I have on there, you do not provide.
I'll be honest. I flip through my Game Informer when it first comes. Like, if I grab it on the way out of the house and I'm sitting in the car at the doctor's office waiting for Heather or something, I'll be flipping through it. But even my Game Informers collect dust. I don't read them like I used to. But again, more and more, they're just blatantly come to GameStop and buy our crap. They're not even really good reviews of the games anymore. Like at one point, they at least had halfway decent reviews. Even those don't seem to be that good anymore.
Well, again, everything's all digital. You go in Kotaku, Polygon, podcast services. They pretty much will have everything that you have, or YouTube, and that's the fastest way to get it, because by the time you get a magazine, it'll probably be a week late and a day, $1 short kind of thing.
Right. Well, it's like people that still read the newspaper. Congratulations, you're reading yesterday's news while I'm online getting today's right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
I just don't see it like getting any better, because everything's got to be now. You're constantly plugged in. I mean, Facebook, Twitter. Twitter is like the worst of it all.
You know what cracks me up? When we got my dad a cell phone, finally got him to carry one, he actually looks at us. He's like, "Why don't you just shove a damn leash up my ass?" We're like, "Huh?" He goes, "What do I need a cell phone for?" I'm like, "Dad, we try to call you and you don't answer your phone or you're not home." He goes, "Yeah, I know. That's because you're always freaking calling me. Now I got to answer."
It's true, though. You don't want to be plugged in all the time. I mean, I don't like having to be plugged in, and I didn't like that about my last relationship. She was always on her phone and stuff, so
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, come on, spend time. I'm like, oh, I got business. I was like, take a day off. And that's the thing, is sometimes with online business or streaming and stuff, you can't take a day off because you'll lose so much more.
Everything.
Yeah. Because what is it?
If you're not now, you're not relevant.
Yeah, what was it? Freaking, they were talking about how Ninja lost like half his subs or whatever. And like because he took a day for a charity stream.
That's how it goes, sadly.
Yep. I mean, I haven't been streaming at all lately. I've been dealing with personal stuff, so. But it's just one of those things. I've got to do me.
Exactly.
I know we're jumping around, but since we're talking about charities and charity streams, Notre Dame donations and video games helping.
Yep.
Why don't we jump into that?
What Ubisoft did was amazing, and giving away Assassin's Creed Odyssey so people can enjoy Notre Dame is amazing as well. I have one issue with this, and it's personal, but
They did you wrong.
well, the Catholic Church, Christian Church, however you want to look at it, $30 billion in industry, they could rebuild that in a week or two. Why are we all donating money to this? And it's not the first time it burnt down. Calm down, people.
See, and I actually got into a debate, and one of my friends got mad at me because I had posted up, I was like, don't worry so hard about donating money to Notre Dame. If you want to do something good, I said there's kids that are starving, there's veterans that are homeless, there's Flint, Michigan still has flammable water. I'm like, there's other places to put the money. And they got mad at me, and they're like, well, why shouldn't we rebuild Notre Dame? It's such an important thing. I'm like, I'm not arguing its importance or not. I'm saying if you want to do a good...
Oh, yeah,
if you want to
definitely.
do a good charitable work.
Especially since it was more or less the contractor's fault who was renovating, they have insurance. Right. And for anybody who's like, well, the gold cross didn't melt. Gold melts at 2,000 degrees. That fire was at most 800. Chill. I can deliver stuff. But yeah, so sorry, I'm playing Monster Hunter.
No, but I agree with you, and honestly, I am a practicing Catholic, which hasn't come up until now and hasn't had a reason to, but even I'm saying there's better things if you want to donate.
There's better places to put your money.
You know, like I said, I just named 3 on our doorstep alone right here in the United States. You have hungry kids, you have homeless vets, and you have Flint, Michigan, who can still ignite their tap water. How about we take a look at some of those and worry about what's on our doorstep and let, you know, I'm all for that billionaire that lives in France that wants to give money. Hey, that's his country, that's his cause, good for him, and I'm not saying he's a bad guy for it. But I know plenty of people that were talking at my church about, well, let's take up a donation and send it to Paris. I'm like, they don't need it. I'm not being mean. I'm not being cruel. They don't need our money. We need it here for things we could do better with this charity money here.
Yeah.
Dude, this is pretty awesome. I'm at the end credits of the World of Light, I guess it is, and you're playing like Galactus or whatever it's called.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. That's the interactive thing. I know I remember the one from the 64s, you just shot the credits. These are credits that you're shooting, you're getting points, and you unlock more stuff. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Wonder if I can get the tier 5 unlocked bonus, I guess what it's called. But yeah, that's more of a political thing I don't like getting into, but the good thing about it is that Ubisoft is going to...
Ubisoft, good on that.
Well, not only that, but they're actually going to provide some of the stuff they scanned while over there for the game.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, that is cool.
Because there's an article that was produced, and they spent like a metric shit ton of hours to reconstruct that thing. And they scanned a lot of the whole place and everything, and they're going to provide those resources back to the place to get it back to original.
And yeah, I do know we avoid politics and religion in general, and that, you know, I tried to keep it as not as much. That was just my kind of opinion on the matter.
Yeah.
I don't mean to offend anybody or anything. Just to me, it seems like they've got it in hand. If you want to donate to a charity, consider something at home.
Well, what is it? Ubisoft did how much? They offered how much?
600,000.
And then there was another company that did as well. Who was the other one? Dude, I'm getting my ass tore up by fucking Dr. Mario here. He's just doing the one move and it's pissing me off. So you know what? Fucking counter your shit.
He's going all Catholic on your ass, eh?
Dude, he's like down B the whole fucking time. Just racking me up. I'm at 113% right now. And he just up smashed me. Fuck him. Let's see.
As it sits, Disney, 10 hours ago.
Disney's the other one. They did like $1 million,
yep.
I think it is.
Because a hunchback in Notre Dame.
$340 million has been pledged to help restore Notre Dame back to its pre-fire glory.
Mhm.
So, like I said, they're not hurting for the funding, and that place was definitely insured, I guarantee you.
Well, not only that, but it wasn't their fault.
Nope.
No. Yeah, I need those.
So, moving on to some more lighthearted, we have the PSN name temps,
Yes.
which I found this hilarious.
That
In all honesty.
if you have a bad name, they give you one until you fix it.
And the concern is, and there is a small group of people actually doing it, the name is like temp and a bunch of numbers or something, and people are keeping it as a badge of honor because, look, I was so badass, Sony changed my name. And it's actually becoming a bragging thing. People are actually proud of it and just keeping the temp name because they think it's funny that they were so badass, Sony basically called them out.
Is that actually a thing, people? Come on.
It is.
Are you really surprised? It's gamers. We do some weird shit.
I didn't change mine. Jay, you changed yours. You still haven't had any issues, right?
Nope, not a one. Like I said, though, the only game that I played that was known to have issues was Nathan Drake, Uncharted 4. And I didn't care if I had to restart it, so...
Yeah, that's a campaign experience.
Everything else went over pretty smooth. And it changed. And again, you have to remember that while they're putting this out there, what they were saying was it may. It may delete your saves. It may cause an issue. They weren't guaranteeing that it would. It was just a distinct possibility. And to me, it felt more like a, if this happens, we covered our butt. You can't cry.
Yeah, this is our flaws, or was it the cause? Whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It's our disclaimer of this may happen, so you were warned.
Yeah.
And I haven't really found an issue with it, and it honestly, like I said, it is nice to have all my gamer tags match again. So.
I mean, if this came out like a few years ago, I would have jumped on it, but I rebranded my channel and my socials to what it is now versus the Nightmare 686. Which, that would be better now because everybody's like, well, what does your gamer tag mean? It's like, then I have to explain all this stuff, and it's just like, oh, okay, I see it now.
I have to explain mine every single time I make a new friend online because a lot of people, for whatever reason, just assume that it's a gang reference with Crip. And I'm like, nope, it's literally just short for cripple.
You also do live in New York.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see why people would be like saying that.
Okay, but I don't live in like New York City, New York.
True.
I mean, I understand that you say New York and everybody thinks the city, but that's a very small part of our state. Yeah. I actually live in upstate Western New York. Like, we have farms and cows and, not
I'm
the city.
hearing
The closest city I live to is Buffalo.
Yeah, but still,
yes.
Like, you hear in New York.
Everybody hears New York, yeah.
But you're country New York.
I am. I actually live out in the country. I'm sort of suburb New York, actually, because I'm only about 20 minutes outside of Buffalo. I was more country where I grew up. I'm about a half hour away from where I grew up.
Well, this is interesting. I just found out something about Smash. Is that if you get your butt beat by a challenge of foe, you can go back to the more screen and re-challenge them. And you can use the glitch where you go back to home screen, shut down the software, and it'll be fresh again. Because I think I'm up to Dr. Mario, which I don't know how far down the rabbit hole that is. Speaking of which, that update made Stage Builder available, and we all know what that brought in.
Yay! Penises
Did you
for
see the
everyone.
meme? What Nintendo thought you would build versus what we actually built?
Yeah. Well, there was somebody I was watching that actually had a stage built that was two people having intercourse
Oh God.
with a moving male genitalia.
Oh jeez. Why
That was
people?
No.
That was painted wood.
Part of me is like, why would you do that? And part of me is impressed at the dedication it took to actually go through with it.
But now, hey, guess what? It gives people jobs because now people have to. They gotta hire somebody to look at that.
Yeah, and decide if the
This
board
is
is
why we
sensitive
can't
enough.
have nice things.
You say that, but we still do.
Okay, you say that, but you're also the one that sends us some of the most screwed up memes and then sits in the corner giggling as we're all yelling, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, that is true.
Like, don't let Mike fool you guys. He's gonna be like, "Oh, this is why we can't have nice things." Mike is the one that was sending us black hole waifu the other day.
That was last week.
That was earlier this week.
Ooh. Yay, there's a video I get
Oh.
to watch. If I'm
It wasn't just black hole waifu, guys.
Oh god. Are we going down
Hold
that
on.
hole again?
Nope. You guys are getting something again.
Oh god.
Oh, good God.
Oh wait.
And it's very relevant.
Oh,
believe
I'm
it or
not
not.
on the right YouTube. Huh. Lol. But there was a
Yeah,
video.
wasn't it you that sent me the drunk Scottish Pokemon cosplayer?
Yep.
God.
Look in our chat.
Do I really? Why is it so damn hot in my house? Oh, fucking Florida.
I'm serious. Has your mother ever just looked at you and just shook her head and said, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
Jesus, Mike.
A lot of people have. Why?
Hey,
Just wondering.
Jay, what circle of hell would that put Mike in?
Blasphemy, isn't that seventh? According to Dante, I don't know. It's been years since I read Inferno.
How is that? That's inspirational. What are you talking about? My favorite part of that is she's still smoking a little bit.
You freaking get that bishop from the Castlevania animated series. He'll put you like right next to Hitler and little Nicky.
I'm more
I'm
worried
sorry,
about the
Black-
bishop from. I'm more worried about the bishop from
Circle
Berserk.
5.
Oh, that's
That
okay.
puts
That's
Mike in
not
the
too
fifth
hot.
circle.
That's not too hot. You gotta remember, heat rises, and if there's 9, I'm only 4 above the bottom, so I'm doing good.
I think it's reverse in hell, dude.
Oh, God. I can't even remember the whole thing. Some teacher had been a smartass on an exam, and you can find the story online. And the extra credit question was if hell was endothermic or exothermic, meaning it retains or gives off heat. And the student actually won. The whole argument basically was one of them would actually, if hell gives off heat, it would cool. And someone had told them that she would sleep with him when hell froze over, and it never happened. Therefore, hell had to be endothermic, meaning it retained heat.
Huh.
You'd have to look the whole story up, but it's a long read, and it's funny at the end, the kid's essay answer. And the teacher gave him 100% credit.
God. There is no more Tumblr. You can't be doing this.
That's why I'm doing this.
Maybe I won't get eaten by this fucking beast on this stage again. Anyways, back on topic.
Now that Mike's broken our brains.
Well, this goes about the whole, like, be careful what you say on the internet, like we were talking last week. But, Mr. Randy's back at it again on social media.
Yeah, what is this about? Because I haven't heard nothing about it.
Oh, he, like, blasted somebody for not, the person's like, he tweeted, like, hey, what system are you gonna buy, Borderlands 3 on? And somebody's like, none of them because of something, like, yeah, you're Epic exclusive. And he's like, okay, well, I guess you don't need to be following me, so I'll block you.
Oh, God. So he threw a fit.
Yeah. But it's also...
Because someone didn't love his game?
Well, somebody didn't like that he went to Epic, supposedly, which, let's clarify that real quick. It wasn't his doing. It was the publisher's doing.
Exactly.
Holy fuck. So, that's one thing. The developer probably has no say-so where their game's going to go. So, it's all up to the publisher, which is the person that actually controls how the game gets out.
And it's 6 months, guys. Chill.
Well, not only that, but it's... You're going to say something on that. One, Randy probably didn't think that was as harmful as it might have been, or vice versa. So, it's just one of the things, like the best example I can think of, and every guy's heard of it and can testify about this, is that when you text your significant other and say, hey, I'm going to go do this, or I'm going to go do that, and they message you back, say, okay, go have fun.
That does not mean go have fun.
It's
Nope.
either...
Abort mission. Abort mission.
Well, if you got a chill girl, it might be, okay, go have fun, I hope you enjoy your night. Or the other one would be like, okay, I see how it is. You don't want to spend time with me? Alright, I'll see how it is. Let's see who satisfies you now.
And for those of you who are too stupid to understand, if you just get wow, okay. It is not okay, and she is
Or
actually impressed at how stupid you are.
K.
Or even fine. Do not proceed. Because it is not fine. It is not okay. And you will be
It's a
sleeping
trap.
with a dog.
If you're lucky, you get to sleep with the dog.
Well, if you gotta go find the dog, if you don't have one, then sleep next to the dog.
If it's fine, your ass is probably sleeping in your car. She's not even letting you in the house.
Yeah.
You'd be lucky to sleep with the dog.
That's why I like being single some days. I get home, I can kick off my shoes, go take a shower, get out, fix me something to eat, and I can play and watch whatever I want to. Which
Nobody bitches at you if you leave your pants in the middle of the living room.
No. I'm very organized. I have 3 dirty clothes bins in my bedroom. The middle bin is... No, I'm very organized because of my my work. The middle bin...
How are you a Marine again?
Yes.
Yeah, how?
How?
Every
Too many
Marine I
crayons.
know, every Marine I know
grew out
has
of
no
crayons.
organizational system at all.
No, don't give me that shit, because we are told to be very clean, organized.
Yes, and as soon as they quote retire, that all goes out the frickin' window. I know so many Marines, former Marines
never
or retired
retire,
Marines
you
or whatever
know
you
that.
want that are slobs.
Well, here's the difference.
I know they don't
I'm a
retire,
single
but
dad,
inactive
too.
Marines. Fair enough.
Okay. Anyways.
I'll tell you something.
I'll
I'll tell you guys something straight up. I'm coming up on my 11th anniversary here. There are keywords you have to watch out for when she gets scary. Say you want to go fish in the morning, and she's like, okay, that's fine, babe, go ahead. You're like, okay, what do you want? Well, I want you home by da-da-da time, and then it's like, oh, that was it, okay. And then there's times you get the one-word answers. Those one-word answers might kill you.
Yup. And I'm not agreeing with you. I'm saying yup. Yup is a danger word.
So, if you have a significant other and you get a one-word answer, it is not that. It is the opposite of that, and you need to get your ass home.
But back to what I was trying to say is that to the whole pants on the ground thing, I have 3 bins. One of them is the middle one is my daily wear clothes, like if I'm going out not working. And the one on the left is my shirts for work and my undershirts and my work shirt. And the one on the right is my pants and socks. So yes, I'm very organized and clean, but hey, that laundry might sit there for like a week or 2.
When I was a nurse, my scrubs actually had their own laundry basket, and the rule was I stripped at the door, and there was always clothes waiting for me at the door that were not work clothes, just because of how much infectious crap I was around, and we didn't want it tracked through the house for the pets, for the baby.
Oh, I got a hamper in the garage too. For those
I would
bad
come
days,
home and
like-
immediately the scrubs would go.
Yeah, like today. Yeah, when I got home, all clothes I was wearing went in the garage.
Garage my ass.
Yeah,
they all
I
would've gone
bet
to a
after
fucking
that.
bonfire.
No, I've got a flea trap in my garage at the old
Okay.
bathroom. But yeah, like I was telling the guys today, the first house I went to, well, poor dog was outside. He got caught up in his chain, so like he was having to stand on his hind legs. If not, the chain would have choked him out. And you can hear him whining from out in the front yard. And when I was leaving, he thought I was the one that's going to rescue him. So he was like waiting for me, and he was like wheezing. But I went to the backyard. They got knee-high grass, and it's a dog area, so half of it's dug up, half of it's not. And when I went to the truck, I sat down. I didn't even think about it. The next thing I know, I see a flea on me. So I get out of my truck, look at my pants. It looks like I stepped in an ant pile.
Oh.
Like, are you kidding me? So I'm sitting there like grabbing my knife, scraping these guys off, and then I go and get a rat glue trap from my truck, and I start slapping my pants with it.
Yep.
It took me 15 minutes to get stopped fleas from getting on me, and I still have found 1 and 2 every now and then. I was so highly annoyed and pissed off about that shit.
I would have been.
Oh yeah, and they wanted me to come back later and spray with fleas, but that never happened because they were never home. But yeah, it's just. What was the subject we were on?
It's end of the week.
Oh,
We're all in a good mood.
The say what you mean to say, or don't take people's word. Text for other things, because you can read one word and it can mess up a whole meaning of what somebody's trying to say.
And again, there is no sarcasm font. There is no just joking font. So you might be like, oh, people are smart enough to realize I'm not. No, they're not. They're really not.
No.
Yeah, that's why I'll ask whoever I'm talking to, are you alright? You feeling okay? And they're like, yeah. I was like, okay, you told me you're okay, so if I'm not knowing how you really feel, that's not on me, that's on you.
I gave you the chance to tell me you didn't want to talk. I'm going to take that as you don't want to talk. Have a nice day.
Yeah. But you know what's great about having kids? If you,
Star Wars.
If you ask your significant other what they want to eat and they say, I don't know, you decide, you just look at the kids and they'll find out the answer for you.
Yep.
But
I
yeah.
actually have a better system. Since I know she's usually going to say, I don't know, I tell her to guess where I'm taking her, and I take her to the first place she guesses, because that's probably where she wants to go.
Yeah, that's not a bad system.
That's a good way to waste money.
If she figures out the system, yes, it is. Fortunately for me, she doesn't listen to the podcast.
Well, you just go around the corner and go back home and heat her a bowl of ramen while you order pizza. Anyways, back to Star Wars because I know you're all itching for that.
Oh my god. Like, it's been a great Star Wars week. I'm not gonna lie.
And then next week, no, wait, it's almost 2 weeks, right? May 4th.
Yep, may the 4th be with you.
Yep.
And Revenge of the 5th.
I'm honestly looking forward to another single player Star Wars game.
It's been a long time coming.
No microtransactions. It seems like everybody was flaming them for saying that, but I guess they were just trying to cover their own butt.
Well, it's EA. You gotta. We've been burned so many times that it's like, yeah, we're gonna be skeptical.
Testicle.
Go to bed, John.
Well, yeah, that's true because a lot of people are testy. You know, hey, EA's making another game. Again, publisher versus developers.
Yep. And again, it seems like we're picking on EA, but we ain't. It's just truth of the matter.
I'm honestly like, if it looks good, which we haven't even seen any gameplay, we've seen a teaser trailer. I'm already 75% going to buy the game. That's where I'm at right now. And I do like EA games. I've got Burnout Paradise on my PlayStation still. So, there you go.
It's not so much that we don't like EA games. It's just they have not handled Star Wars well.
That too. I mean, I like the... What was it? The Battlefields are on the older generation consoles, and the PSP. I played that a lot because my brother had that. That and SOCOM, yeah.
I mean, I still play the 2016 Star Wars Battlefront. It's a good game.
I was gonna say I have it because it came. My first PS4 was the actual Star Wars Battlefront bundle, so I have it permanently in my collection, and I usually re-download it and jump on and play it because it's all right to play. It's kind of fun. I don't mind it. It's not the game everyone wanted it to be, but then again, no game is ever the game you want it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The one I
But,
enjoyed was the Battlefield 1942, I think it was.
No, that was a good game. I preferred Bad Company too.
And then I liked the Battlefield Modern Combat for the Xbox.
I never played that.
I loved that thing. I preferred that.
But yeah, Return of the Jedi, was it called?
That was the movie. Or no.
No, that was Return of Skywalker.
Or no, the Legacy of Skywalker. And then the Fallen Order.
Yeah. Yep, Star Wars Fallen Order. Then we have Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. And Mandalorian is also getting a bunch of teasers out.
Yeah, like
so,
I said, I'm 75% going to right now without seeing any gameplay at all. Going to get it. Now there are some like people theorizing that it might be a lightsaber dueling, like maybe like Sekiro, but not as hard.
If they gave me a From Software Star Wars game, immediately.
Well, not the I guess the style of it, like where you're like blocking, parrying, and all that, and attacking.
I mean, could you imagine a parry from Dark Souls with a lightsaber into a riposte? That'd be amazing, and it'd feel so good.
And so your idea. But
LucasArts, you can have it.
Just make it. Let me get first copy. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm 75% going to get it no matter what.
I need to see more.
I was gonna say, I want it, and I want to believe that it's gonna be what they're promising, and it's gonna be amazing. But we've been burned before.
Yeah. But I'm the
And
latter.
burned hard. But Rise of Skywalker trailer came out, and yes. And then all those screenshots from the Mandalorian set that you get to see around, those pictures they've been taking, it looks so good.
So where are these games gonna sit canonically? Are they going into the Legends? Or are they actually going to be canonically into what Disney's keeping in the main franchise? Or do we not know yet?
Fallen Order takes place right after Order 66.
Yeah,
Right.
they've already confirmed that is like a Padawan that's was able to get out.
So
right, which we know that
my-
that exists because of the cartoons.
yeah, so they might just be going that route.
But then again, you're talking Rise of Skywalker, and Disney really hasn't touched. I mean, they left the void between the original 3 and the current 3. And they haven't touched on what Luke did in the interim, and everything that Luke did in the books is now Legends. It's no longer canon. Because in the books, he actually did restart the Jedi Order, I think, 3 times because he kept having students fall to the dark side. But unlike in the movie, instead of turning into a whiny little piss ass and running off in solitude, he actually continued to try to rebuild the Order multiple times. And they were just like, yeah, there's just too much there for us to go into.
Holy ballsack.
I honestly thought for sure, for example, that Kylo Ren, they were going with the Darth Cadia story until I found out that they weren't using any of that.
Thinking about it canonically, yes.
Chronological.
Even chronologically, yeah. This leading up into New Hope or just straight up Star Wars. One, you know the protagonist is not going to have a good time.
No.
Did Force Awakens 1 and 2, did they stay canon or no?
Let's see how bad Cloud's gonna whoop my ass.
You talking about game wise, or are you talking
game wise? Game
movie?
wise.
I didn't play Force Awakens. I didn't even play the Lego version.
I'm just wondering if it's still canon, because if that's canon, then it kind of intersects with this timeline. You know?
And see, that was the weird thing that Disney did with LucasArts when George Lucas still owned it. Other than like the Star Wars Battlefront games, where it was basically just like, you know, Black Ops, and that's about as historically canon as anything else. All of the Star Wars games, all of the media was considered canon, as long as it wasn't like blatantly contradictory to existing things. But Disney just said that there was so much to work with, and I understand why they went away from Darth Caedius, and that whole thing was they didn't want to screw something up and irritate fans the way the prequels did. And oh, for the love of God, can you imagine the nerd rage? Like, people were already pissed that they just veered off from that path to begin with, but can you imagine the nerd rage had they tried to do it and screwed up the Darth Caedius arc?
Yeah.
You guys lost me with that. I'm not a big Star Wars kind of.
The simple explanation is that, and this is why everyone thought that Kylo Ren and Rey were related, was in the books, Han and Leia had twins, a boy and a girl. The boy was Ben Solo, and he turned to the dark side and became Darth Caedius, and his sister, Jaina Solo actually ends up having to kill him because she stayed on the light. And it was a whole like 5-book story arc, and it was pretty epic. It was really good. It really dealt with Luke. You had Luke's wife in there who, backstory with that, his wife had originally been a secret assassin for the Emperor and was going to avenge the Emperor and kill Luke, and she fell in love with him. And I mean, there was just such a huge history of stuff, and Disney went, it's way too much, so we're just going to back off and go in another direction, and these are now Star Wars Legends. They're not Star Wars Expanded Universe.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. What did I miss?
More Star Wars
I was
stuff.
explaining real quick what Darth Caedius was to him.
Gotcha.
And why fans would have nerd raged, because it was like that 5-book epic, and it really was one of the most popular arcs. And so that's why we understand why Disney was like, yeah, I don't want to touch that.
Yeah, but with Fallen Order, there are several intersecting timelines that it could go through. So we'll just have to wait and see for more info to come out. Rise of Skywalker, I swear that's Anakin's lightsaber.
Okay,
Like
but to
early
be fair,
Padawan.
Luke wielded a version of Anakin's lightsaber for a while too, and then Rey got it back, and then Rey ended up with that same lightsaber.
No. Because if you watch the progression of lightsabers throughout New Hope, Revenge, and Fall, excuse me.
Whoa.
Feel better?
What? Yeah, that was fine. I'm trying to eat pizza at the same time. You notice that his lightsaber evolves into what was essentially Ben's.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at Padawan into Young Jedi Anakin's, it is the same exact one, even with the little bits hanging off the top side. Whereas in Luke's, didn't have the bits at the beginning.
Oh yeah, I forgot this thing had a kickstand.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What?
Just watch using the kickstand, because it exposes your SD card and that thing pops out really easy.
Oh, I'm not too worried about that. I'll get on my desk while I'm leaning back with my Joy-Con on the side.
But yeah, everyone, we're nerds for Star Wars here. Except for John, he don't care.
I don't know. Dude, like, I still haven't seen the original 70s. Don't at me. Seriously, do not at me about that.
Do it at him.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I do own them on VHS.
So at least you get to see Han shoot first.
And the non-crappy photo-edited version of Anakin and the memory thing, right?
Yep.
I know the basis of it. I've seen enough clips to put the whole movie together, but, I just, like I told the stream, I've told you guys, I have a date cutoff for movies. Same thing, like, you can probably name a lot of iconic movies that were made before 90s, and I probably haven't seen them.
Predator.
I've seen that one, because I owned that one and Predator 2.
Cliffhanger.
Never even heard that fucking movie.
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Nope.
I'm going to assume then you've never seen anything in the Dollars trilogy.
Or Indiana Jones.
Okay, so
That's it.
This
We're
is
going
Mad
on a road
Mikey.
trip and we're
This
kicking
is
his ass.
this is Mad Mikey, and we are looking for a new podcast home. If you'd like us, please contact me on Twitter.
Or
No, Mike.
Mike,
We're going on a road trip. We're tying him to a chair and we're making him watch good movies.
I can make it even worse.
We will go. What?
I can make it worse.
Try me, bitch.
Jaws.
How are you even a fucking nerd?
I told you you're like, try me. I was like, okay.
How are you even a nerd?
Was it Hellraiser? What's the other one with the guy that eats all the people?
You gotta be a little more specific. Just a couple like that.
Silence of
The
the
Hill-
Lambs.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say the
Which
hills
means
have
you
eyes.
haven't watched
Technically, has a
Hannibal
guy
or
eating.
Red Dragon
Hannibal
either.
is what I was thinking. Yeah. Nope. Not Hannibal. I've seen The Hills Have Eyes, but not the original one. I've seen the '90s one.
It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
That's Silence of the Lambs. Hannibal is.
I know.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
and
I have the books.
You know what makes
too.
it even worse is I used to work at Blockbuster and I could rent all these movies for free.
Because that wasn't Hannibal Lecter. That was Buffalo Bill. That was the lotion guy.
Yep.
Hannibal Lecter actually helped catch him.
Would you
Well,
fuck me? I'd fuck me. Easy cowboy.
Not gonna
Sorry.
lie, every time you say that, all I can picture is Jason Mewes and Clerks 2. When they're outside movies. That's all I can ever picture anymore when I hear that.
But yeah, see. But then again, my mother did shelter me a lot. Like up until I was like 20. Every time there was tits on the screen, she would tell me to cover my eyes.
It's like, Mom, I got a stack of Playboys under my bed right now. You're wasting your time.
No, I was that guy. I was that guy in high school that I was net sending pornography through the whole school.
The original Terminator.
Yes, I've seen that.
The original Rambo.
No, I don't like
Kill Bill.
Yeah, that's not that's post '90s, bro.
Okay, Pulp Fiction.
Yes, I owned it on VHS. And
Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh my God, great movie.
Yes, that's
Big Trouble in Little China.
Jackie Chan one, right?
No, Kurt Russell.
Nope, didn't see it.
Escape from LA? Escape from New York?
Nope. Escape from Alcatraz? Nope.
The original Mad Max.
Nope.
All right, we're gonna need you to officially hand over your nerd creds and just walk away because you can't be a nerd anymore.
It's not a nerd. It's just movies.
Highlander, Endgame, any of those.
Yes, because Highlander had titties and a funny condom scene. Or was that the second one?
You gotta be thinking of the second one because that's the one I've watched the least, and I don't remember a condom scene in the first one.
Okay.
Either that or you're thinking of like one of the later ones.
Last one before I come down there and kick your ass.
You gotta go.
The Naked Gun.
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
Airplane?
No.
That's okay.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
No. I've never even heard of
That's a niche movie, dude. Come on.
Okay, to be fair, the only reason I know that movie is because it was actually filmed in my hometown. The diner scene and the train station scene were filmed where I grew up. So that's why I know that movie.
All right, so.
I know I'm a horrible human being.
You're not horrible, and you're not even beyond saving. You just need education.
Am I going to take the time to watch these movies? Probably not.
This is why we're
No,
going to
but
drive
doesn't
down there
mean
and
we
tie you
won't
to a chair.
reference. Yeah, we'll go weird science on you.
Okay. You do that, and I'll just sit here like with the Star Wars lore.
I was thinking Clockwork Orange.
Thank you. That's what I was thinking of.
And either way, he still doesn't get the reference.
No.
Those movies are before the time frame he mentioned.
Yeah. Like I said, anything before 90s.
All right. Speaking of movies, I'm moving us along. Disney Plus, and the big middle finger to freaking Netflix and everybody.
But yeah,
I thought we covered this last week.
yeah, but isn't it like they've announced some more?
A lot more.
Yeah.
Like they're adding pretty much anything they can to this.
Yeah, even the bad Disney stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest, are you guys going to be in at the price point? Because I'm definitely thinking I'm getting it.
Yeah, man. Especially if I can get.
I might as well. I mean,
Um,
my son watches mostly Disney movies as it is.
Now, if it's accessible where I can get it on any platform, then yes.
Oh, you know damn well they're going to do that, man.
PlayStation though.
PlayStation, Xbox, PC.
You'd be surprised because HBO had an issue trying to get it. Oh, what the fuck? HBO.
Yeah, but this is Disney.
Yeah, but HBO had an issue. Still has an issue, I think. No, it's not HBO. It's Comcast. That's what I'm thinking.
They could sell
Spectrum.
PlayStation if they wanted to.
Spectrum also is not on PlayStation. Spectrum actually has an exclusive contract with Xbox. Because if in New York State, if you purchase a certain internet speed bundle, which I have the gaming tier, you get to use the Spectrum app and you can use your gaming system like a cable box or your computer. And it's not on PlayStation, it's only on Xbox, which is kind of a pain in the. So I see his point. There are a few things, but this is Disney. You don't fuck with the mouse. They want to be on PlayStation, they'll be on PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to be on a refrigerator, they'll be on a refrigerator. It does not matter.
We have one at work that
Your
can
Alexa
do that.
will be Your Alexa will be telling you what Disney movies are playing right now.
I wish I was joking, but we seriously have smart refrigerators at work that will play. I think it's Netflix right now.
For the time
That is a stoner's worst nightmare.
I think the idea is you're cooking and you want to watch your Netflix, so now you have a screen in the kitchen because it's a smart device. But
Food Network stuff.
Oh my god, don't do it. I gotta try that.
Yeah, get the fridge first.
Well, I can just walk down, or, well, ride down the Lowe's, see what happens.
It's like a $4,000 fridge, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
Those smart fridges aren't cheap.
I ain't saying I'm buying it, I'm saying I'm going to test it.
The one I like is we have one, it's got a glass panel. You knock on the panel twice and the light on the fridge turns on. So you're not constantly screaming, "Shut the damn fridge!"
Wait, Jay, did you just tell the stream where you work at?
I did not. He
Oh.
said Lowe's. I don't work at Lowe's.
Well, that kind of just narrows it down, right?
No, there's a bunch more.
I was going to say, there's a few other choices that I could be at.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No.
I was going to say,
Mine
specifically asked me not to mention them in detail.
Mine, of what Jay works at, is an hour and 20 minutes away. We're not doing this again tonight, fuckers.
You don't even have a Burger King within a half hour of your house.
Yeah,
20 minutes.
We can do that.
20 minutes. I showed you. I have a Subway.
Eat fresh. Bitch, you ain't eating fresh for a year.
All right. What else we want to go over tonight, guys?
The Xbox Live and Game Pass bundle should be a pretty quick topic to cover.
Yeah, they.
Yeah, what's that about?
They bundled it, so now you can even if.
So it's pay for one, you get both.
Well, no, like they gotta like. I think it's if you have. It's cheaper, or if you do the monthly pay versus the year pay, it's the same price as if you have it for a year, or whatnot. But you can get your Game Pass with the Xbox Live bundled together. You don't have to do.
I gotcha.
Transactions. And also, they will, if you already have it, they will do the difference for you if you want to upgrade.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but
So they're definitely going for that monthly subscription over buy a year card and you're good.
yeah,
Gotcha.
but it's the same price if you want to do the whole year, but it's if you do that way. But if it's what is it? If you go monthly, it's cheaper to go to buy the bundle than individually.
Nice.
Yeah. Saw Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is coming out too. That's looking good.
Only if you had a Switch, Mike.
Shut up. We're working on it.
Yeah, but the thing I want to talk about back to Microsoft is the sADE. I don't want to say what everybody else has been saying because I've heard like 8 fucking times. The Xbox One S All Digital Edition.
Oh, the SAD.
SATA.
Yeah, the SAD edition. Okay.
Yeah. Which you're just feeding right into the meme there, Mike. Thank you. But yeah, that is a huge joke.
I saw it and I'm like, okay, they took out the disc tray and just made it a huge brick. Okay.
But it's
Like,
the same
no.
fucking price as what you can go to the market and get it now.
Yeah, I saw that. People are like saying you can go buy at GameStop for the same price.
And
One S for the same price plus a couple games.
well, you get 3 games with the
Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, and whatever that other one is
Forza,
do not really count.
Forza Horizon 3 or something like that.
I mean, come on. They can do better than that.
And that's the thing. I was looking forward to buying this if the price is good. But $50 cheaper, so $250, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking like $199, $150. That would have been my sweet spot to get it.
$199 would have been a perfect price point for this. 100%.
Especially when they didn't really redo the.
They didn't do anything but remove the disk drive.
Yeah.
So they're saving themselves money, but charging you the same as if you got one with a disc drive.
Well, a lot
Yep.
of people are saying that they're just testing the markets and see how everybody likes it, and then when they can put it on discount when it comes out.
And is it still just going to sit at a 1 terabyte?
Yeah, it's at 1
Yeah,
terabyte
looks
right
like
now.
it. If it's all digital, it needs a bigger.
I mean,
One of
yeah.
the first things I did when I got my 1S was buy a 2 terabyte hard drive to go with it, so that I have 3 terabytes worth of space.
Yeah, I've got to upgrade my PlayStation because with just my top 5 games, which let me pull them up right now. Red Dead Redemption 2, Tom Clancy Division 2, Marvel Spider-Man, Rainbow Six Siege, Horizon Zero Dawn, and God of War. Let's see, 103, 91, 68, 57, 49, and 45.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's all digital. All digital. Yeah, so I was like, yeah, it needs to be bigger than 1 terabyte because the PlayStation 4 Pro is a 1 terabyte.
Now go back to the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and remember when everybody was asking what the hell you'd ever need a 250 gig hard drive for?
Well, that's another thing that we'll get into later with the PlayStation reveal.
PS5.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
But when games get bigger, so does the space they take.
Well, that's true.
Wasn't it Black Ops 4 that doesn't have a single player mode?
Black Ops 3 doesn't either.
Yeah, how are those bigger than, Black Ops 2 when they don't I mean, it don't make sense.
There's more content for them. There's more maps, there's more guns, there's more stuff to do.
Yeah, but a single player mode you guys suspect is at least over half of a disc,
I think it's more like like with Red Dead and stuff, you get the map, and you also get the audio logs or dialogue.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
I mean,
old man
you do
coming
got
out
to
of me.
figure that the dialogue for a single player game alone is probably half the disc when you're talking the NPCs. If you put, unless you take the Bethesda route and have all your freaking NPCs voiced by 3 different voice actors and they all say the same shit, then I guess it's probably a gig.
I don't know. It just don't make sense to me. Because it's multiplayer and a battle royale mode. I can see the battle royale being a little bit bigger than the multiplayer because it has a bigger map. But other than graphics, where the hell is all that memory coming from?
I have no idea. That's a good question. But again,
It is now confirmed you are being spied on by aliens through your games,
I wouldn't doubt it.
and that is the extra. That is the extra bit of memory they are using, which is why games are so big now because they gotta watch you more.
You gotta watch you all the
Great,
time.
now I gotta go buy more tinfoil.
You just gotta buy more Pokemon plushes.
Wow, we got John tired and he's snappy. Holy shit.
You know, to be fair, just because the Pokemon plushes are the ones I share the most doesn't even mean that's what I have the most of. What I actually have the most of is a friend of mine passed away and she collected Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, fuck you, man. Fuck you.
Her husband gave me a 3-foot tall plush Stitch that I still have, and since then I've added to the collection. I have more of those than anything else.
Fuck you, man. That's
But
my kid's
I've got
favorite
like
Disney thing.
I've
My
got
sister's.
like four plush Marios, a bunch of Link and Zeldas, Yoshis.
Man, if I took off time to show off my nerd collection, we'd be here till Thursday.
Exactly.
I don't have much of a nerd collection.
And you don't watch movies either.
And you're just jealous because I have a giant Pikachu and you don't.
I'm okay with the Pikachu.
I want that giant Snorlax.
I know.
Speaking of which, you play Let's Go Pikachu, right? Have you rode on
Yeah.
Snorlax yet?
No, he's still just blocking the way. I haven't gotten the Poke Flute to wake him up yet.
Oh, okay. All right, let's do a little quick thing here. Switch goes on sale in China, hopefully.
Yep. They're
Good for them.
That's like a huge thing because a lot of their stuff.
It's a big, big thing because of how much the government controls everything over there.
I was gonna say, are they actually gonna get a legit Nintendo and not a China branded knockoff? Because that's usually what happens
Well,
in China.
What's the guy's
Nintendo
name?
does.
The rapper.
What?
What's that rapper that has all the knockoff Chinese fucking shit?
Oh, Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
No, Nintendo actually has a console over there, but it's not really a console. It's a plug and play.
Yeah.
And that's how they've been remaining relevant in China.
But that's what I was referencing, was they never got the actual consoles. They get a government modded down, approved piece of software. They don't get the actual, this is what you got in America or Japan.
So hopefully soon they get an actual gaming experience because yes, they have computers. Yes, they may have some of the other consoles, but it is so heavily regulated over there. It's like, no, not that many people have it.
They're crazy expensive over there too.
Yeah. And Sony sexually explicit content. Yeah, Sony is moving more and more anti-consumerism. It's ridiculous.
Well, I think they were trying to go more family focused than anything, especially with like VR and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say like anti-consumer. They're just trying to make it more fair and equal around everything.
Well, like I stated before, what was it? Devil May Cry 5, it had that one bit of nudity in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely censored on PS4.
Yeah. And that's what everybody's example is.
And then there's other games like Sen and Kagura and all that, where it's meant to be a titty bounce game.
But let's not talk about Witcher 3.
Oh yeah, Witcher 3 and the Amazing
So-
Horse Ride.
Is there a reason that they're doing this? Because I mean,
They want to look more family friendly. And by the way, this is also why they don't allow crossplay, allegedly.
okay,
So
but
they are
let's
more or
be
less
fair.
censoring everything.
Japan thinks Americans are weird because we would rather see violence and sex on TV, and that there's something disturbed about us.
It's culture.
Like-
I wouldn't say weird. It's a culture thing.
Yeah,
It
it's a
is, but-
huge cultural difference.
But they're usually less angsty about sex, so it surprises me that a Japanese company is running down that direction. Like, I could see an American company going after it more. Because we're so squeamish about it. You know, Americans are prudes, what can you say? But in Japan, I mean, sex is just it's a factor of life, it's a thing, so it's not like they're like, oh no, nobody ever has sex, don't talk about it.
And this again is going into other subjects, but they censor every porn and everything over there. It's illegal to show male and female genitalia, besides tits. You know, again, it's a very huge culture divide.
True.
Ugh.
Oh, dude, what the fuck? How many more people do I fucking have to unlock?
How many you got so far?
I have no idea what the count is. Oh my god.
I know. I just got the amiibo for one of the. Have you got unlocked Child Link yet?
Yes. All three
I
of
was gonna say, I just got his amiibo. Honestly, because I was hoping it would do something in Breath of the Wild, but it came out after the last patch, so it acts just like the other Ocarina of Time Link. You get the exact same shit.
How many do you know how many you got?
Amiibos?
No, John.
okay, I
how
see
many
it now.
characters?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank fucking God. I got 6 more to go. Because I just got.
Yeah, the final count, if you include Pokemon Trainer, is 74.
I've just got Ken, and I got Greninja, Chrome, Mewtwo, Bowser Jr., Dr. Mario, which I already got Dr. Mario. So this is out of order? Question mark? Fuck.
And good luck with Ripley.
Ripley? I already got him. He was easy.
Oh, thank God.
He was easy. I'm using Ike, so he's got like power moves and counters.
I gotta admit, Mike, for someone that's so anti-Smash, you know a lot about it.
I'm not anti-Smash. I'm anti-Smash player.
There's a difference.
There's a difference between a game that's actually pretty damn good and those smelly little fucks.
Which
So if they did like Yu-Gi-Oh and required that everyone take a shower and wear deodorant, you'd be chill with it?
I'd be down with fucking Rock Dog.
you would smash.
I'd smash.
Yeah.
Becky smash.
Who would you smash as?
Oh my God.
Right now, I play as Bayonetta, but otherwise, it's usually either Samus or what was that one character I played a lot of? Ganondorf.
He's super slow now, but he's got a lot of armor.
I only have Smash 4 on my 3DS.
All right,
So I just
before this, the last time I played Smash was on the GameCube. So that tells you something.
Well, John, you wanted to save it as final topic.
Because I'm just tired of hearing it, so to be honest. But yes, the PlayStation reveal for next console for Sony. Let's not call it PlayStation 5 because it's not been announced.
But they sure the hell announced the price point.
They have
Yeah,
500.
500.
Fuck that. I ain't doing it.
right?
It won't stay there. They've done this before.
Yeah, PlayStation
Yeah.
3.
I mean, shit, I paid $300 for my PlayStation 4.
I just bought a Pro for Black Friday. So what do you think? I feel like.
No, it'll be another 5 years before I get a new console. Besides Switch. And if it really doesn't go the way I want with PlayStation, I'll just stay on the Switch.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
I'm honestly wondering from the way things are sounding, because nobody sounds super happy with Xbox or PlayStation.
The
And I'm
Switch might
honestly
just take it
wondering.
over. Honestly, they just keep the Switch as it is and just do their SKUs changes.
Well, and did you hear about the selling numbers?
What, Switch is coming up?
Switch is about to take over everything.
Yeah, they were creeping up in Japan a lot. So yeah.
Not quite. I actually just was looking at something. The best-selling console of all time still sits at PS2.
Well, I'm talking current gen.
Yeah, Switch is rapidly overtaking the other two.
So, I mean,
Yeah, I
shit,
think
they come
Mario
out with a
Kart.
Switch Pro. I mean, why not just get a Switch? They keep upgrading.
I think Mario Kart is like the highest selling game on the Switch right now.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Me either.
And I know it was a fan-made suggestion, but I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo went that way. Somebody suggested a peripheral that the basically the tablet part of the Switch slides into, and it basically turns it into a clamshell DS-style design, and then would have a dock that would allow it to sit in that tablet still and dock that way. And if they did that, that would make me want to take it more places. I won't lie, if I had a peripheral like that.
Or what if
Well,
they,
and
what if they
have
get
you
the
heard?
light one? The Switch
Yeah,
Lite?
the Switch Mini is supposedly going to be a clamshell design.
And it's going to be made so you can be more portable.
Take it around just like a 3DS.
Yep.
I mean, I'm down with that. The way it's looking, Nintendo is going to be the most sought after product.
They
You
have
know,
a good.
the Nintendo Switch, the Pro, the Mini, and until we see actual proof of how good Stadia is, I'm not even worried about getting a PC.
Yeah. I got
Right.
it just for my MOBA. And that's about it. If you want to call it that. Guess Assassin's Creed Unity on it now.
I don't even have a PC. I have a freaking Chromebook.
You
Yeah,
can
I got one.
Stadia on that, from what they say.
I do not trust my Chromebook for anything besides looking at PDFs.
I use it for research and like doing the stuff I do for this. That's about it.
What kind of research are you talking about?
The kind that I do to actually talk about the topics we're discussing.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Mike's
What the
wifey.
fuck?
Mike's wifey.
Please, I have
What?
a cell phone for that.
Why? No, I like open my email because I got a little ding and it's like YouTube Music Coachella Weekend 2. What the fuck is Coachella?
Is that like something Spanish?
Am I that old?
I don't know.
Well, yes, but
It's YouTube Music, so I'm guessing it has something to do with music.
It's YouTube music, so it's got to deal with something music. Nah, it's movies.
Enjoy Coachella Weekend 2.
The Cinco de Mayo stuff.
Oh, it's that music festival.
I was gonna say I thought it was some kind of music festival, but I didn't want to be 100%, and I had walked away from the computer for a minute.
Why do I want to know about that?
I don't know, because you like that stuff.
Because something you looked at made our powerful overlords at Google think you felt that was relevant.
What did you search, and what did you mean to type into your search bar there, Mikey?
No, I'm pretty sure I know what it was.
Actually, we're all Android users, right?
Yes.
Yep.
You guys get the new Android OS? The updates that took like 3 days and 5 frickin' updates to do?
No.
Nope, because I'm on a S6 active and I don't get those.
What?
Dick.
What do you have?
I have a Samsung Galaxy S6 active.
I know, but I was talking about Jay.
I have an LG. It's a straight talk model, so I don't know what it parallels to because they have different names. It's a Rebel 4 on straight talk.
I got a S6, 7, 8.
But what I was going to say was, ever
Yeah,
since
you're
it
2 models
finished
ahead.
that, it's actually freaking me out because ever since they finished that, Heather and I will be talking about something, and I'll go on Google and it'll be like, "Hey," and it'll be relevant to something we were talking. Like I didn't even search
That's just
it.
Google though.
Yeah, but this still creeps me out when it does it.
You can go to your Google log and you can delete your voice recordings. Cause Google keeps a log of what you say and you can go and delete it.
The fact that my phone listens to me at all is creepy. I remember when they had there was a feature on, I think it was a Samsung phone, and it was like smart look or something. Basically, it detected if you were looking at the phone and didn't turn your screen off, and I'm like, no, if my phone's watching me, that's just creepy.
But now we tell our Alexas, what we're eating for dinner and who's over and what music to play, and then we ask it for recipes.
Yeah, I personally don't like any device that's constantly on and listening to me. I don't. Just like with the Xbox One, I never got the Connect because it's constantly on, so you can use voice commands, and I'm like, nope. If you're constantly on, I don't want.
What's up, John?
Just got Greninja. This is so fucking grindy. I think this is worse than fucking Red Dead with the animal skins. Oh, Lord.
It is a grindy game. I mean,
Jesus, I only got 5 more to go. Oh God, shoot me. But yeah, I mean, did y'all hear any of or read any of that article from Wired magazine?
I read a couple articles on it.
Well, basically, it's supposed to have some nice graphics and all that stuff like that. Race tracing for which everybody's like, yeah, it's better graphics, but it also can help the AI be more like responsive, active. They can see shadows and whatnot, your location. They'll react to that. The processor, it's some funky number. What's the backwards compatibility? Disk drive is a big thing. And then
but I read there that it's only PS4 backwards.
Yeah, it's only PS4, but they're going to probably be working more on the streaming side too. So you'll probably get your PS4, PS3, PS2, and PS1 streaming services.
well, I do know they are listening because when they cut the backwards compatibility, because PS4 is the first one. Up until PS4, everything would play PS1.
Well,
and then the PS.
They finally got the fucking name change, so yeah, they've definitely been seeing that.
And then they cut that out on the PS4, and the PS4 won't even play the PS1 games anymore. And fans were pissed. They're like, they accepted that the 3 and the 2 weren't going to be compatible, but everybody liked the fact that you could literally put your PS1 game in anything and play it. And the 4 doesn't do it, and fans really weren't happy about that. I remember that.
But the one thing I want to definitely talk about is this how expensive it got because of the SATA drive they put in it.
What are they capping that out at, or are they going to have multiple models with different?
Probably, but the thing is like the example they use is Spider-Man's quick travel.
Mm-hmm.
That on the PS4 Pro, it was 15 seconds to travel. On the blank docket they have that wasn't even the final model, it did it in 0.8 seconds. But again, that goes back to our conversation earlier about games might be that might be good and all, but games would probably just get bigger and more space be added.
Price wise, though, you got to remember Sony does this a lot. They'll put the latest and greatest of a product in, be it hard drives, disk drives, whatever. And the first model is always ridiculously expensive, and then as that technology reduces in price, so does the PlayStation as they figure out how to build it cheaper.
Well, not only that, but don't buy Gen 1.
Yeah.
Don't buy Gen 1 anything.
Well,
let
except
somebody
Pokemon.
else get the buggy shit. Well, yeah. But let someone else get the buggy shit and figure it out.
I mean, look at all these TVs now. Like 4K TVs are getting cheaper and cheaper every month, which is something I want to look at real quick while we're in the stream. Is what they were projecting the new thing's going to be, but I want to see what exactly entails the price point of it. Oh yeah, is that what I think it is? Yeah. Fuck that. So they're the 8K resolution. It's a white boy. It's not white boy. Excuse me. It's rich boy issues. Because I don't think 8K is within the next foreseeable 5 years, probably. Or is that just me?
That's just you. I ain't worried about 4K or whatever.
No, I mean, like, they're saying that the next PlayStation console is going to be 8K resolution. I just looked it up. And
yeah, but
the
graphic-wise, there's going to come a point where you can only make it so good. I mean...
Well, here's my thing right now. Who's going to go out right now and get an 8K TV for their games because they're...
Man, I don't even know if my TV's 1080.
Well, I looked it up real quick. Best Buy has an 8K television for $5,000. Why? You need that.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm hoping my TV's 1080p, but I don't know.
You remember 5-10 years ago when a 55-inch TV was $1,000 or a couple $1,000? I mean,
now it's 300, 200.
Exactly. I mean, again, it's the same with technology. The new thing is always expensive, but it gets cheap quick.
That's why I say give it about 5 years and it'll be good. It'll be something that we could see, because even Stadia was talking about 8K, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but how long before you hit this graphics upgrade before you start hitting the uncanny valley where it's just weird?
I don't know. Like too lifelike for you?
We're already reaching that point, the uncanny valley with the 3D models that we're using for video games. They're getting to that point where it's less cool and more creepy, and it hits a certain creep factor, which is what they call the uncanny valley, and it becomes to a point where people don't want to play it because it's not cool, it's just weird. So
tell you what, man.
Add into that the graphics, and I'm thinking it's not going to make the problem better.
There's some virtual games out there I would really love to be in, like, pretty good. Yeah.
Leisure Suit Larry?
I was about to say something like that too.
See, he doesn't know movies before the 90s, but he knows what the fuck Leisure Suit Larry is.
There were a couple of fucking iterations that came out in the 90s and 2000s, right?
Yeah, those ones suck, though. The ones in the 80s with the crappy graphics were actually better.
The text ones.
Or are we talking about...
They weren't completely text. You did have to do
Close
reading.
enough, dude.
They were more like an RPG. For those of our younger listeners who don't know, Leisure Suit Larry was a, shall we say, risque computer game that literally
Conker's
made
Bad
you
Fur Day.
it
Hey,
made you
freaking
verify
Oregon
the fact
Trail
that
was
you were old
risque.
enough to play it.
Freaking...
Okay, the whole point was Larry went around trying to get laid, and I remember at one point I did it out of order, forgot to get the condom, and his penis blew up from an STD.
At least it wasn't as bad as you trying to screw an Indian woman.
I'm just saying, it was a messed up game, but it was a lot of fun.
Oh, no credit on that one. Thanks, guys.
Nope. You don't deserve it.
But yeah, I think...
Wow, we're fucking tired.
Indeed.
I just think that the right now it's too much out of the question, and it's probably in, another 2 years until we see anything like the next.
Well, they keep saying next year.
Well, that's what they always
To be
say.
fair, though, talking about 8K, right now we don't even have devices that natively put out 4K on the regular.
Shit, the fucking Switch is what? 720?
Yep.
Yeah. The PS4 Pro can simulate 4K, but it's not native. The only thing that I know 100% puts out native 4K is the Xbox
One X.
One X. Is
And
the
PC.
only thing that I know natively puts out a 4K picture. And we're already talking about 8K.
But even then, some games don't have it.
Exactly. I mean, one of the reasons I run my PS4 through my Xbox One S is it's an upscaling trick. You can actually get a little nicer graphics because your One S will upscale your PS4 for you. I mean, you actually have to own both of them for that to work, obviously, but
First world problems.
it also right. It also saves me an extra component slot in the TV too.
Well,
but
freaking if I could get that price drop on that all digital, I wouldn't have the issue, right? But no, they gotta be freaking $250 for the all digital.
you can get one that's not all digital right now for $1.50 used.
Yeah.
Or even new if you shop smart.
But then you give your money to GameStop.
I'm not even talking GameStop. Shit, I found. You gotta make sure you go test it, but I found one on the Facebook Marketplace for $100 the other day. The only issue, honestly, that I saw with it, and the reason I think it was $100 was it was the 500 gig model versus the 1 terabyte. But again, slapping an external hard drive on that's not that hard or that expensive anymore. So, like, had I needed one, I wouldn't have thought too hard about grabbing that because $100 not bad. Another $50 for a 2 terabyte hard drive, and there you go. So
That's another thing that came down in price a lot is hard drives.
Yes, thank God.
Yes. While I'm on the topic, if you go to any game store, you can find the one that says PlayStation. You can find the one that says Xbox, and they're $80. Or you can walk your happy ass over to the computer section and buy the exact same Seagate drive without the paint job and the Xbox or PlayStation logo for $50 to $60.
It's just like the Switch memory card that we were talking about last week.
Exactly.
You go to Best Buy, get the SD card for your Switch that's in the Nintendo section, and it's like $80. You go to the one that's in the camera section, it's like $30.
Yep.
Exactly.
And it works just as good.
It's the same thing. It just doesn't.
But I was literally sitting there, and I happened to notice, and that's what made me look, is I'm looking at the package, and it says Xbox hard drive by Seagate. I'm like, well, there's Seagate hard drives over there. So I went and looked, and it's literally the same damn hard drive, the same specs. The only difference is mine is black instead of green for my Xbox and black instead of blue for my PlayStation.
And you can spray paint that to change it. And the only issue is it automatically comes formatted for the system.
The system formats it anyway. The only problem with them is once you put it to the system, it's permanently to that system, or you lose everything.
Yeah.
Like, I could unplug it from the Xbox and plug it into the PlayStation, but it's going to wipe out everything that was Xbox and reform.
Dude, Mario, chill the fuck out, dude. Holy dick, dude. And that's the only thing I don't like that I have to spend a little bit more money on is getting the network adapter for the Switch.
Yeah, that is a bit bullshit.
I saw that at Best Buy for like $50. I was like, really?
But again, as I understand it, you should be able to take any USB Ethernet adapter and plug it in, and it'll work just the same. So again, it's a question of, are you buying Nintendos or do you just want to get the job done?
Yeah.
Because a USB to Ethernet is only like $20.
And then I also got to figure out how to get four wired controllers connected to the Switch at once. And I think it's just a USB hub, right?
Yeah, that's all you need.
Okay, I got one of those right next to my computer I don't use. There's a 3.0 as well. Haha, bitch. So I can keep on buying this.
It's the exact same as hooking up wired controllers to any of the other systems. You just plug a hub in and it'll recognize the extra slots. And before we go, there was actually a topic I wanted to talk about because it seems like I'm the one in the group that does it the most, but for collectors and stuff, we're coming up on yard sale seasons and all that stuff with the nice weather. And honestly, before you necessarily shell out to a scalper or go to the game store and pick up something at a ridiculous price, look around at some yard sales and stuff, because a lot of times, I'm not saying you gotta find people that don't know what they have and bilk them. That's not the direction I'm going. But a lot of times people will get rid of stuff a lot cheaper at a yard sale. Oh, yeah. Video games have gone up because of storage wars, dicks, making everybody be like, oh, video games are worth money, and they've kind of artificially inflated the market. But at the same time, if you shop around and you look around, you can definitely find good things to add to your collection that, if you're patient, are a lot better than, what were we talking about the other night? The one game he said went for like $2,500. Little Samson?
Yeah.
I know people that have found it, maybe not complete in box, but at a yard sale. Some grandma had it in her freaking attic and threw it out in a yard sale for $10.
Well, not only that, but like what I shared with the group, was it last weekend? I got 2 computers for $40.
Exactly.
And well, one of them doesn't have much hardware except for a motherboard, and a processor, but still. $40 for $20 for all that. I'll take it. Is it MSI motherboard too?
But one of the big things is we're gaming dads, and I know gaming dads are gaming on a budget. Our hobby comes after the bills, the kids' sports, their hobbies, whatever else. As it should. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I'm saying, so you want to make your gaming budget go. Look at the used games. Facebook Marketplace has become an awesome place. I said we were getting back into Guitar Hero and the rhythm games. And you go to the used game stores that, not GameStop, obviously, but the off brands like Gamers Haven and stuff. They want $50 to $80 for a guitar controller anymore because nobody's making the rhythm games, so the controllers aren't being made. If you shop around and talk to people online, I got the Warriors of Rock controller. It's practically brand new for $15 from some guy. Because I don't use it. It's collecting dust, and I just want it out of my house. So sure, $15 and it's...
Well, not just that, but you can find other stuff like good books. I mean, and mind you, books are becoming rarer and rarer
Oh,
just because of
absolutely.
digital format.
You
But
can find good
books,
books or
movies, DVD, CDs, tapes.
since John is making fun of the fact that I have so many Pokemon plush and other plush crap, you can find a lot of that stuff, a lot of things that you collect. I mean,
Shit. Well, back when I first moved in my house, me and my brother went to yard sales around the place. I got the entire 3.5 Dungeons and Dragons sets for $5.
nice.
Yeah. And that's like everything. Including some minis, and they gave me a free Batman figure.
One of the last yard sales I was at, I have them all on audiobook, so I didn't grab it. They had the entire Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan for $5.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Like I said, I have them all on audiobook, so I didn't bother buying it because I can just listen to them when I want to. But I mean,
yeah,
the series is getting harder to find, and they're good books. And seriously, $5 for what is it? I think 12 books in the series.
So at least.
And that'll take you at least a year to read. No lie.
Oh my God.
We need to wrap up.
3 more to go.
So, more of the story there is check yard sales for stuff you're really looking for because you'll never know.
Yeah, you might find that hidden the Action Comics #1.
It's very possible, actually.
Check that little hole in the wall shop that you drive by every week and think, hey, I should stop there. I wonder what's in there.
Unless it's your ex that lives there. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't stop at your ex's yard sale. She's probably selling your shit anyway.
And she'll probably charge a fortune for it.
Yep.
But I mean, seriously, that was just my bit of advice because I'm, Mike has even told me he's jealous of the thrift store finds and stuff I find at times because he doesn't have any good thrift stores by him. But it's not just thrift stores. There's yard sales. There's mom and pop game shops that pop up, here or there. Don't be afraid to get out of the car, go look for a minute. It doesn't hurt nothing to look.
Yeah, that's what I did with those computers. I saw them, was like, what's the worst they're going to charge? Like $200, walk up, it's $20 a pop. I'm like, okay, let me go get some cash.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah, that was a little project too. So get condense air, clean out. Me and the son can build a computer for him. Bada boom.
Exactly. So, but it is late. It is a nice run length for our show, and as we have all said, we're all tired.
And I gotta drive like 3 hours. Yay.
Don't worry, Mike will send you plenty of waifu to keep you entertained.
Jeez.
Oh, I have a backlog. Where do you want to start?
Oh, God. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you watching the stream, and you'll catch us on the podcast. Hopefully get it processed a little bit faster than I did this past one. But for some reason, YouTube was being a little dickhole. But catch us next week on the podcast, YouTube and podcast services, probably by the end of the weekend, hopefully, if everything goes smoothly on the processing. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next week. Bye.
Peace.
Peace.